Welcome back to the garage here at Basin Motorsports. So if you guys saw my last video release, it was on the full installation of the Air Force suspension, C5, C6 Corvette, airbag struts, tanks, lines, the whole kit and caboodle. So one of the things I discovered is that when you really raise the car up, if you need it to go higher than OEM or almost even to OEM level, the rear upper control arms hit the airbags. The company that manufactures that and says that you don't have to change the arms, but I'm going to say there should be an asterisk next to it that if you need to go higher or if you need to go OEM level or higher, your airbags are going to hit your rear upper control arms on your C5. Doesn't matter if you're Z06, FRC, or a hatch or a base, etc., etc. It's all going to hit. Now, in order to fix that, you could do two things. You can grind your arm, which I don't want to recommend because it can be damaging, or you can just switch over to some C6 base. So that would be 2005 to 2013 base model upper control arms. And today I'm going to do that and show you the benefit of doing it. Okay, so here is the driver's side of my Z06 here. And you can just see that with the air strut all the way lengthened out, you're going to have some contact. And it's going to be right here on this backside. I've just got it labeled ouch. And it's basically from this zone to this zone. You can see where that airbag is hitting that control arm. Now, doing it, just touching it without a lot of vibration, you probably won't damage the airbag. It's not a big deal. But if you're going to drive around with it raised through parking lots, etc., you're eventually just going to keep wearing this control arm against that. And it's not exactly a smooth casting. So it's had some rough texture to it that it's eventually going to wear through there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this control arm off, and I will show you the difference of the C5 to the C6 and why the C6 makes a good improvement. Now, taking this off is pretty easy. You're going to have three connection points. You're going to have your main ball joint here at the end at the spindle. I'm going to take this off or take this loose first. So you can see right there, this is a hold and drive. So you would use an Allen key on the bottom holding it, and then you can just use an 18mm wrench to take the nut off. Now, once that is at least loose, you can then go ahead and take your mounts to the car out. Those are, again, an 18mm socket on both sides. You can take those loose, and then your suspension is free to finish up taking it apart. Go ahead and put a jack under the spindle down here, and that way you can lift it up and take the pressure off so that when you pull the control arm out, your spindle doesn't fall or kind of flop around. All right, now I've got the control arms out. So I have the C5 on the bottom, the C6 base on top, and here is where everything sits. So if you put them top to bottom, kind of one on top of the other, what you're going to see is that the alignment on the mounting to the car is fine. As you come down, you see the lighter gray, that's your C5, and you can see where the C6 is just a wider kind of mouth, if you want to call it that, right there. So where your ouchie point is there in your black marker, you can see the C6 just sits off there, probably a good ½ inch away from that. So you're going to get another bit of clearance on there. Now, the caveat to that is that your mounting points where your strut sits is not the same, unfortunately. So it actually sits back probably, I'm going to say, an inch or so on your C6 there. Just kind of looking over the top, you see how your bolt holes don't line up. So now your struts are going to be leaning rearward. So just know that you're going to change your alignment on the rear, even though you're going to go ahead and put that on there. So if you want to, or if you should, go ahead and get an alignment after you get all this put together and your settings done. Take it to an alignment shop and make sure that everything's going to be good. Otherwise, you might start eating tires up. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you putting this in, or show you the results of putting it in and why you get the space you do. All right, so here's going to be our C6 arm all installed. Now, the bag is lowered, so I have nothing supporting the spindle, so the suspension is at full drop there. And you can see I can get my finger all the way down under it. So you can see my finger underneath it, no big deal. got some clearance there. So where the bag was hitting, you know, you had your ouch in there, the bag was hitting, and now there is nothing. You can see there's daylight through it. So you can see how much space you have between the C6 arm, C6 base arm, and then your actual airbag, the rubber piece. So again, your spindle now is going to be moved rearward because of the arm difference. And now I need to put the tires on and drop it down to see what that affects, if there's any rubbing or anything else I need to worry about. All right, so I have everything topped out there, so you can kind of see the gap between the airbag and the control arm. We are good to go there, no problems. I just need to make an adjustment on the passenger side on full droop or full aired out so it doesn't hit. And as you can see, we definitely get some air up underneath the tire. So let me drop this down, show you what it looks like, what the finished product is going to look like. And there you go. So there's everything good. Now that sits about from the center of the hub to the top. There is about 12 5/8 inches. So everything looks good. I just need to get everything buttoned up and everything fits great. Now I just need to mess with my settings. Now if you have any questions on the installation or the disassembly of everything else, shoot me a comment down below. I don't have any, there's no products really to this other than the kit. I'll do copy over the description from the previous one. The C6 arms, I ended up just buying used on eBay. They were in good condition, so look for those. You can probably pick up a set for about 150 shipped, somewhere in that ballpark. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you and answers some of those questions. We'll see you next time.